Have you ever wondered why some women are unforgettable? Why even after everything, after the arguments, the distance, the silence, he still looks back, still lingers in memories he never admits? It's not magic, it's not luck, it's a presence, a fire, a kind of energy he can't replace. It's the way she lives, the way she loves, the way she knows her worth without needing anyone to confirm it. And once a woman becomes that, she becomes impossible to let go. Seneca once said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." But how often does he only feel grateful after you're gone? After he's already let you slip through his fingers? That's the mistake he makes, thinking you were just love. He never realized you were home. You were the place he came alive. And no matter where he goes, he won't find that feeling again. Because a connection like yours doesn't just show up twice. Think of water. The ocean doesn't beg anyone to swim in it. It's powerful, it's deep, it's constant. And yet, the moment he loses it, the moment he finds himself in a desert of shallow love, he'll remember what it felt like to be immersed in something real. That's what you were. Not noise, not temporary, not a distraction. You were the calm, the chaos, the everything. Right now, maybe you're sitting in silence trying to figure out what you did wrong. Maybe you're still wondering why he pulled away, why he stopped trying. But hear this, you were never too much. You were just too real for someone who didn't know how to hold something rare. He was chasing the surface while you were the depth. And now it's time to stop blaming yourself for his blindness. Because the woman who becomes unforgettable doesn't do it by begging. She doesn't do it by shrinking, by proving, by waiting. She does it by rising, slowly, fiercely, unapologetically. And that, beautiful woman, is where your journey begins. Not to win him back, but to step into a version of yourself so powerful that he'll never be able to forget you, even if he tries. You are not broken. You are not invisible. You are not something to be tossed aside. You are becoming something more, a woman who doesn't just attract love, she reigns over it. And now is the moment you begin to live like it. If these words touched something deep inside you, if they reminded you of the strength you forgot you had, then take a moment, lovely woman, and like this video. Subscribe to the channel, because we are working with all our heart to create content that speaks to your soul, lifts your spirit, and reminds you you were never meant to beg. You were born to reign. Number 1, the woman he can't let go of is the one who didn't need him. She chose him. Have you ever noticed how the woman who stands strong on her own always leaves the deepest mark on his soul? Not the one who begs, not the one who chases, but the one who never needed him. She chose him. And that's the woman he can't forget. Because when a woman chooses love from a place of strength, not need, it becomes something he never finds again. He thought you would always be there, that your heart was his safety net. He believed that just because you loved him, you would wait forever. But here's the truth he never saw coming. Your love was a gift, not a guarantee. And now he's realizing that once a woman knows her worth, she doesn't beg to be held. She decides who's worthy to hold her. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't understand this. He believed the power was his. He thought walking away was his decision. But what he didn't see is that you hold the power now, because a woman who knows she doesn't need anyone to complete her, she becomes unforgettable. Think of a lighthouse. It doesn't move for the ships. It doesn't chase anything. It stands tall, shining, waiting for the ones who are wise enough to be guided home. You were that light. You gave him direction, warmth, safety, and he didn't even see it. Now he's lost in the storm, and the light he once ignored is the light he cannot stop searching for. Maybe he thought you'd always be around, but now he understands he wasn't needed. He was chosen. And once he loses that place in your heart, He'll spend years trying to find even a piece of it in someone else, but it won't be the same because your love didn't come from fear or emptiness. It came from fullness, from fire, from you. So now, powerful woman, it's time to live like the woman who doesn't chase, but is chased, the woman who doesn't wait, but walks forward, the woman who doesn't beg, but reigns. You are not broken, you are rising, you are stepping into the life you always deserved. Affirm this now in the comments. I choose, I don't chase. Queens, write it proudly. Let him feel the silence where your presence used to live. And if this message spoke to your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you the lessons, truths, and strength to help you reign without apology. Number 2, he will never move on from the woman who made him feel like a king while never forgetting she was the crown. Have you ever noticed how he lights up when he feels seen, respected, admired? Not just loved, but truly lifted. Some women do that without even trying. She makes him feel like a king, not by lowering herself, but by standing so tall beside him that he feels stronger just being in her presence. But the secret? She never forgets that she is the crown. She brings the glow, the grace, the greatness, and that's exactly why he can't forget her, no matter how far he runs. He might try to move on. He might hold another hand, smile in someone else's presence, pretend like he's fine. But deep down, he remembers. Because once a man has been with a woman who made him feel important without ever losing herself, every other connection feels hollow. You didn't just support him, you inspired him. You gave him something most men never find, a woman who loved him with power, not need. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." And you were the reason he started dreaming bigger. You made him think higher, believe deeper. That's not something he can replace with a pretty smile or soft words, because when a woman gives love without losing her dignity, he never forgets it. Think of the moon. The moon doesn't shout. It doesn't fight for space in the sky. But when it rises, everything notices, everything changes. That was you, quiet power, grace that didn't shrink. You stood beside him, not behind him. You gave him light, but you never dimmed your own. And now, every time the world goes dark for him, he'll remember your glow, the kind he can't find again. Maybe he thought he had options. Maybe he thought you'd always be around. But now, he knows. He lost the only woman who made him feel like a king while reminding him that he was standing next to royalty. You were never just love. You were the reason, and that is something no one else can become. Beautiful woman, this is your truth now. You were never made to be forgotten. You were made to reign. Your strength isn't loud, but it is unforgettable. Your love wasn't weak, it was divine. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am the crown he can never forget. We are working hard to bring you life-changing lessons because you were never meant to be an option. You were meant to reign. Number 3, you become unforgettable when your love wasn't loud, but it was loyal. Have you ever wondered why he still remembers you, even if he never says it? Why your name lives in the quiet parts of his mind where no one else can reach? It wasn't because you shouted the loudest. It wasn't because you constantly reminded him of your love. It was because your love was steady, quiet, loyal. And that kind of love doesn't fade. It leaves a mark he can't erase, no matter how far he runs. There's a kind of power in being the woman who doesn't need to scream to be felt. She simply is. She shows up with heart, with truth, with the kind of love that stands even when things get tough. He may have thought your silence meant weakness, but what he didn't see was the strength it takes to love without conditions, to stay when it was easier to walk away, and to remain loyal even when his attention drifted. And now he'll spend nights wishing he could feel that kind of love again, because no one else gives it like you did. Rumi once said, "The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear." And now, in the silence you left behind, he hears everything. The loyalty he overlooked, the depth he ignored, the woman he took for granted, and that realization, it will stay with him longer than any loud goodbye. Think of candlelight. It doesn't roar like a wildfire. It doesn't beg to be seen, but it warms the room, lights the darkness, and is missed the moment it's gone. You were that light, software strong, steady. He will look for that calm in the chaos of others, and all he'll find is noise, because no one else brings the peace you once offered so quietly. Beautiful woman, your loyalty was never a weakness. It was your crown. You weren't asking to be remembered, but you became unforgettable. And now it's time to wear that truth like armor. You are no longer the woman who waits. You are the woman he will never be able to let go of. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. My quiet love made me unforgettable. We are here working day and night to bring you real, life-changing lessons that remind you of your worth. You were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to reign in it. Number 4. A woman who walks away with her head high becomes the echo he can't silence. Have you ever noticed how quiet can be louder than a scream? How the silence of a woman walking away can echo louder than 1,000 words? That's what he never saw coming. He thought you'd cry. He thought you'd beg. He thought you'd wait, but you didn't. You stood up, you held your head high, and you walked away with every ounce of strength he never realized you had. That walk, that silence, that's the sound he'll never forget. There is something haunting about the moment she stops trying. It doesn't come with a fight, it comes with peace, and that peace will follow him like a shadow, because he expected a storm. What he got was your silence, and that silence will be the loudest thing in his life. Marcus Aurelius once said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." And now you are learning to live without needing him to complete you. You're not chasing anymore. You are becoming whole, and that is what he can't handle. Imagine a cathedral bell that rings once and leaves the air vibrating long after the sound is gone. That's your absence. That's your strength. He may walk through life pretending he's moved on, but in his quiet moments, when no one's around, he will feel the weight of your silence like a bell that never stops ringing. You weren't just another woman. You were his peace. You were his mirror. And now that you're gone, the emptiness will be louder than any goodbye. This is how you become the woman he can't let go of, by no longer giving him the version of you that begged to be loved. You give him the version that loves herself so deeply she doesn't wait to be chosen. That's when he starts looking back. That's when he starts missing what he once had and can never have again. You don't chase, you don't explain. You walk and let your absence do the talking. Dear lady, you are not broken. You are the storm that walks in silence. The fire he ignored now burns within you, not for him, but for yourself. You are stepping into your power, not to win him back, but to never need him again. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. My silence is the echo he'll never escape. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we are here pouring our hearts into content that reminds you, you were never meant to beg, you were meant to reign. Number 5, the woman who stops trying is the one he remembers forever. Have you ever noticed what happens when a woman finally stops trying? When she stops texting first, stops overthinking, stops holding the relationship together with both hands while he barely lifts a finger. At first, he might feel relieved. He might believe she finally gave up. But what he doesn't know is that her silence is not surrender. It's power. And when the silence stretches, when the energy shifts, when the love he always assumed would be there suddenly disappears, that's when it hits him. She's no longer trying, and he can't stop remembering her. There's a quiet kind of heartbreak that comes with effort unreturned. You gave him your love, your loyalty, your late nights full of overthinking. You kept showing up even when he stopped noticing. You tried to fix it, tried to understand him, tried to hold on to something that was already slipping. But here's the truth. A woman can only try for so long before her soul says, enough. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You see, you were not asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong man. You were loving with both hands while he loved with hesitation. You were fighting for something he was okay watching fall apart. But the moment you let go, the moment you stopped chasing, he lost the only thing he never thought would walk away. Think of a candle in a dark room. It lights everything, offers warmth, offers peace. But if someone walks out of the room too many times, expecting that flame to always be burning when they return, eventually the wick runs out. And when he comes back, when he finally feels the cold, he will search for that warmth again. But it will be gone. And queens, that's when your silence becomes unforgettable. You are not broken. You are not the girl who waits around for love to remember her name. You are the woman who gave her all and then walked away with grace. He expected tears. You gave him distance. He expected you to keep trying. You gave him silence. And now you live not to prove your worth, but to walk in it. Write this in the comments, queens, and claim it. I stopped trying, and he never forgets. Let this be your reminder. If he couldn't value your effort, he will never forget your absence. We are working hard to bring you the life-changing lessons you deserve because you were never meant to be forgotten. You were meant to reign. Number 6. He will never forget the one who saw his soul when he barely knew his own. Have you ever looked into his eyes and seen something even he couldn't see? Have you ever held his fears before he spoke them, carried his silence like it had a voice, or loved the broken parts he tried to hide from the world? That's not ordinary. That's not something he will forget. Because the truth is, he will never forget the one who saw his soul when he barely knew his own. You didn't fall for just his smile, his charm, or the way he touched you. You saw beneath all of it. You saw the pain behind his pride. You saw the dreams behind his doubts. You saw the man he didn't even know he was becoming, and you loved him there, in his shadows, in his confusion, in his mess. That kind of love doesn't leave quietly. That kind of connection becomes the echo in his chest he can't silence, no matter how far he runs. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." But you, graceful woman, you became the one who added color to the parts of him he thought were empty. While she might touch his hands, only you ever reached his soul. That is why, even if he pretends to forget, he never truly will. Think of an old photograph, one you don't look at often, but when you do, it hits. The smell, the sound, the feeling, it all comes rushing back. That's you. You're not noise in his memory. You're the moment that lingers when everything else fades. He can't explain it and he won't say it out loud. But every time love feels too shallow, too fake, too rushed, he will remember you. But now, beautiful woman, it's time to remember you. You were never weak for loving deeply. You were strong. You were brave. You were real. And now it's your turn to become unforgettable for yourself, because the woman who sees his soul must never forget her own. That's how you become the woman he can't let go of, because you never let go of your power. Write this in the comments and claim it. I saw his soul and now I choose mine. Say it, queens. Let it be known. You are not the past he walked away from. You are the future he'll never touch again. We are here, working with heart and purpose to bring you powerful lessons that help you rise, not just in love, but in life. Number 7, when you stop being his piece and become your own, that's when he starts chasing. Have you ever noticed how he only starts missing you when you stop needing him? When your world no longer revolves around his love, his words, his approval, that's when everything shifts. That's when he begins to wonder, begins to remember, begins to feel your absence like a quiet storm he never saw coming. Because when you stop being his piece and become your own, that's when he starts chasing. Right now, he might feel like he's in control. He might think that walking away was easy, that choosing her was the right move. He believes you'll wait. He expects the same version of you to always be there. Gentle, loyal, forgiving. But what he doesn't know is that something inside you has changed. You are no longer the woman holding her breath, waiting to be seen. You are now breathing fully, standing taller, and choosing yourself over and over again. The Roman philosopher Epictetus once said, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." And when you stop living for his attention and start living for your own peace, that's when your power begins. Because he never expected you to stop trying. He never imagined you'd take all the love you gave to him and pour it into yourself. Think of a candle. As long as it's burning only for someone else, it melts down, slowly fading. But the moment it lights up its own space, the entire room changes. That's who you are now. You were once his comfort, his warmth, his safe place. But now you've become your own fire. And the warmth he once took for granted, it's no longer his to feel. This is how unforgettable women are made, not by chasing love, but by becoming love, by finding strength in silence, power in stillness, and confidence in choosing themselves first. And when he sees that, when he sees you at peace, not because of him, but without him, that's when the regret begins. That's when he'll want back what he thought he could replace. But by then, beautiful woman, it will be too late. You are not waiting. You are not chasing. You are rising. Let this moment shape you, not break you. Let this be the chapter where you no longer ask to be chosen, because you finally chose yourself. Affirm this now. I am my own peace, and now he will chase what he lost. Queens, write this in the comments and let the world know your power. And if this spoke to your soul, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working every day to bring you the lessons that awaken your fire, rebuild your spirit, and remind you, you were never meant to beg, you were born to reign.